The disclaimer, I can't really talk about everything. It really is, as I've gone through a career, it's a lot of lessons learned, and these are things that I started out my career in the technical side with a BS degree in electrical engineering, and thought the technical side was where my interest was. But then as I was working in field service and new product development, I really came to believe that it's the people side that's really super important to get anything done. Because I'm a project manager at heart, I have that aptitude for it and like getting results. And just being able to know the craft, know the technical details is not enough. It really is around the people side. So when I went to get an MBA focused on management, and I said, wow, this is really where it's at. It's all about people, and those are the things that it took me a while to learn that. And a lot of things along the way that I said, wow, I wish my earlier training would have covered some of these aspects. And that picture of me is really one of my examples of pride, I guess, where the Project Management Institute awarded me with the Distinguished Contributions Award. So it was really nice to be recognized by the profession as being able to contribute and give back to others. And so that's why I'm here today, is to share some of that with you, that things that I've learned along the way. I'm not saying you have to do these things, but they worked for me. Hopefully they'll work for you as well. What is project management really as a basic statement? And the first thing is something we all do. Even my wife, who had worked at HP for a while but never had that title as a project manager, as she was learning about some of the things that I was talking and teaching, that she was on a lot of project teams and didn't really have training on it, but wished that she had a lot of the training about project management that would have made her even more effective as a project team member. And everybody is doing projects, whether it's in your personal life, your community life, church life, and at work. It is something that I think the vitality of every single organization is based upon getting projects completed. I said I'm a project manager at heart. Early in my career, I worked in the service field, and I found out that the reactive side of service engineering or field service work was not my thing. My thing was to be able to visualize an end result and get it done. And I realized that every time that I'm in that environment where I'm trying to create something, that's where I feel in my element. I feel I can be, an average engineer possibly, but I think I can be an extraordinary project manager because that really is my aptitude. The basic training on project management talks about the iron triangle, the triple constraints of meeting schedule, meeting your scope, and meeting your budget. And we often refer to that as get it good, fast, and cheap. And the thing you find out is you can't really have all three. If you got something good and fast, it probably wasn't cheap, or last time you got something cheap and fast, it probably wasn't any good. So it really is being able to learn the constraints of meeting all those things, but also realize that's just the starting point. There's much more beyond that in order to be successful in this career. And I think that's the greatest thing. I've worked with some very smart people in my career, some engineers and computer architects, and I realized that that certainly is not my strength in what they're doing, but what we really do and what I can contribute is to help coordinate them to get results, to be able to put processes in place and get things done. A lot of times I see a lot of reports, a lot of status reports are all about the activity. This is what I've done. And kind of the basic question is, so what? What is that contributing? What results are happening? And that's what management wants, that's what executives want, that's what clients and customers want, is results. That's what this profession is all about, is to pull everything together to do it. And it is highly dependent upon people to be able to get that done. So that's what we're going to talk about. Everything I wish I knew is that some of these things right here. Here's a job description that I found one point that was posted, and this is a real job description, and it really helps to illuminate what the position is all about. It is hands-on, we get the job done. It is about an attitude where you understand the theory, but you also know how to adapt it. And I've worked with one person who she's always just pushing them. And I realized that sometimes we have to adapt, we have to apply it and back off and kind of urge people along, just nudge instead of a shove. But only the right amount. A lot of people don't like process. I'm a process person, but I think we have to realize that too much is too much, and sometimes we have to back off. About many times getting issues. I was able to get a coordinator to work with me, could sometimes handle the mechanics of putting the schedule and issues together. And my job then was to drive those issues, to work the people side, the negotiations, getting the right people together where we can make decisions and get things done. And it is communicating. When I was hiring a coordinator, I was really saying, do you mind really pestering a lot of people, because not everybody gets their deliverables done on time, and many times you have to keep going back and back to them. And sometimes these are pretty influential, important people, pretty much higher in the organization than ourselves. And you don't mind being able to do that. And I think that's what's important for us as well, is that they know why you're pestering them, because you're communicating. You don't have a hidden agenda. It's all about what it is, what it's going to get results. And it is very important. And we are increasingly, almost all of us, in fast-paced, constantly changing environments. Even some of the industries that are slower paced are constantly changing, expecting more projects, more competition, more demands from customers and clients, and the web has enabled so many things that we need to be able to be comfortable for delivering projects in that environment. So those are some of the expectations. What Alfonso and I put together is the idea of a complete project manager. And what we're trying to say is that it's kind of like chemistry. Molecules, how do you get all this potent stuff in a very tiny pill? As I investigated that, I really came to understand it's all about complexity, complex molecules that be able to make a lot of connection. And I think that's what's important for this profession. That's not only those technical skills, but the organizational and people skills is what makes you more complete and more effective, more able to get results. And it's that integration of skills from many disciplines. So I'm kind of a big picture type of person. As I get into details, too many details, too far down, I sometimes lose interest or motivation. I like to see the big picture. And so that's my role as a project manager, is be able to integrate people who have the strength in many of those other areas, that I can work with them and help them be successful in contributing what they have in place there. What is going to be ultimately a success, if we all think that we want to have successful careers, what's that going to mean? Is that you're skilled as a project manager, you're working with skilled people, you have effective project sponsors. That's why Alfonso and I focus on sponsorship. There's a lot of sponsors who are not really effective, and we try to address that audience directly. But we also realize that most sponsors are going to be educated by the project managers, the people who they are supposedly manage. I think taking the initiative to manage up the organization is crucial for our success, because many times these people have not had the benefit of going through project management training as much as we have available to us these days. And so part of our job as project managers will be to make our sponsors more effective, because they control the purse strings, they control the directions we go, they make the key decisions of what's being funded or allocating the resources. We have to make sure that they're doing their job as effectively as they can.